Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, why not me? Why can't I be the one who achieves greatness? Why can't I live a life so extraordinary that people look at me and say, this person must be one of God's favorites? If these questions haven't crossed your mind yet, it's time they do, because the truth is you are capable of becoming something far greater than you've imagined. Here's the reality. Life doesn't reward the mediocre, the passive, or the hesitant. Life rewards the bold. And those bold enough to push past their limits, to challenge the odds, and to refuse defeat, they are the ones who rise above. They are the ones who become favored. By the time you finish this video, you'll not only know how to begin this transformation, but you'll also feel an undeniable sense of urgency to take action. But let me make something clear right now. This isn't just about success in the material sense. It's about becoming someone who commands respect, someone who walks with purpose, someone whose very existence radiates power. Stay with me until the end, and I promise you'll leave with a blueprint to not just survive, but to thrive and claim your place among the extraordinary. The first step to becoming favored, chosen, or extraordinary is a mindset shift. Most people go through life as spectators. They watch the world unfold around them, feeling as if they have no control, no say in what happens. They believe they're at the mercy of circumstances, luck, or fate. But here's the hard truth. Those who think like this are destined to stay where they are. If you want to rise above the crowd, you have to stop thinking like the crowd. The crowd settles. The crowd makes excuses. The crowd waits for opportunities to come to them. But opportunities don't wait for anyone. You've got to be the one who decides, today I am done waiting. I am done watching. You've got to be the one who steps forward and says, I am here to take what's mine. Now, let's talk about something that most people never think about: the power of self-selection. You see, no one is born as God's favorite. It's not handed to you. Instead, it's something you choose to become. And that choice isn't just about wanting it. Every single day with your actions, your decisions, and your mindset, you are either stepping closer to greatness or further away from it. Ask yourself, are your actions today aligning with the person you want to become tomorrow? Because if they aren't, you're not moving forward, you're standing still. And here's the thing about standing still. Life doesn't stop for you. Time doesn't wait. While you're standing still, others are moving forward. Opportunities are passing you by. And the person you could have been, they're getting further and further out of reach. Here's where most people get it wrong. They think being extraordinary is about talent or luck. It's not. It's about resilience. It's about showing up every single day, even when it's hard, even when you're tired, even when the odds seem stacked against you. Because those moments, the ones where you want to give up but don't, are the moments that set you apart. Think about this. Diamonds are only formed under immense pressure. Without the pressure, they're just ordinary rocks. And in the same way, you need to embrace the pressures of life. Instead of running from challenges, face them. Instead of avoiding discomfort, seek it. Because every challenge, every failure, every setback is molding you into something extraordinary. If you're still watching, let me tell you something most people won't hear in their entire lives. You were made for more. Deep down, you already know this. That feeling in your gut, the one that tells you you're not living up to your potential, that's not guilt. It's a call to rise, a call to stop settling, a call to become what you were meant to be. But here's the catch. Most people ignore the call. They drown it out with distractions, excuses, or comfort. They convince themselves that it's okay to be average, that it's okay to settle. Don't let that be you. If you're still here, you've already taken the first step. You've already said, I refuse to settle. Now let me leave you with this thought. What if today was the day that everything changed for you? What if this was the moment you decided to stop holding yourself back? What if this was the moment you stepped into your power and started living like one of God's favorites? That's not just a dream, it's a choice. And it's a choice you can make right now. This is your moment. The question is, will you take it? Now that you've recognized the call within yourself, let's explore what it truly means to become one of God's favorites. Let's clear this up right now. It's not about being born with privilege or being chosen by chance. Becoming favored isn't the title handed down from above. It's a position earned through relentless commitment, unshakable belief, and the courage to live boldly. Think about this. Every single person who has ever achieved greatness, who has ever risen to a level where the world takes notice, did so not because they were destined to, but because they chose to. They made the decision to rise. And more importantly, they backed that decision with action. But what does it mean to be one of God's favorites? It means being the kind of person who refuses to live an ordinary life. It means living with a fire so bright that it lights up every room you walk into. It means being the kind of person who doesn't just talk about their dreams, but does everything it takes to bring those dreams to life. Here's the truth most people ignore. God's favorites are the ones who understand that life isn't about waiting for opportunities. It's about creating them. You don't wait for life to hand you a chance. You make your own. You don't wait for permission to succeed. You take the leap. This is what separates the extraordinary from the average. The average person hesitates. They second guess themselves. They hold back because they're afraid of failing, afraid of judgment, or afraid of the unknown. But the extraordinary person understands that fear is part of the process. They embrace it, harness it, and use it as fuel to propel themselves forward. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you took a bold step? When was the last time you ignored the voices of doubt in your mind and acted purely on faith in yourself? If you can't remember, then today is the day to change that. Because here's the key. Becoming favored isn't about perfection. It's not about never making mistakes. It's about showing up every day with a heart that says, I will try again. Being favored means you don't let failure define you. Instead, you let it refine you. Every setback, every rejection, every time you fell short was not a sign of defeat, but a lesson in disguise. The universe is not against you. It's preparing you. It's molding you into the person you were always meant to be. And here's the part that most people miss. Being one of God's favorites doesn't just happen in the big dramatic moments. It happens in the small, quiet choices you make every day. When you choose to wake up early and work toward your goals instead of hitting snooze. When you choose discipline over distraction. When you choose courage over comfort. Each of these decisions may seem insignificant on their own, but together they form the foundation of greatness. Greatness isn't built in a single day. It's built one choice at a time. And those who are willing to make those choices consistently are the ones who rise. Here's another truth to hold on to. Life doesn't owe you anything. It doesn't matter where you started or what obstacles stand in your way. What matters is what you're willing to do about it. Life doesn't reward those who complain, who wait, or who expect things to fall into place on their own. Life rewards those who are relentless, who refuse to quit, and who fight for what they want with everything they've got. This is what it means to be one of God's favorites. It means standing up when life knocks you down. It means walking into every room with the confidence of someone who knows they belong there. It means holding yourself to a standard so high that others can't help but notice your presence. Now let me ask you, are you willing to hold yourself to that standard? Are you willing to stop making excuses and start making moves? Because becoming favored isn't about wishing for it. It's about doing the work even when no one is watching. Here's where most people fall short. They let fear hold them back. Fear of failing, fear of rejection, fear of standing out. But let me tell you something, fear is not your enemy. Fear is your teacher. It's a signal that you're stepping into something bigger than yourself. And every time you face that fear, you're proving to yourself and the world that you're ready for more. Remember this, you weren't born to blend in. You weren't born to live an average life. Deep down, you know this. You feel it in your gut every time you settle for less than you deserve. Every time you shrink yourself to fit in, you're denying the world the greatness that only you can bring. Being one of God's favorites isn't about being better than anyone else. It's about being the best version of yourself. It's about using every ounce of your potential, every gift you've been given to create a life so extraordinary that it inspires others to do the same. So the question is, are you ready? Are you ready to rise, to push past your limits, to stop holding yourself back? Because the only thing standing between you and the life you were meant to live is the decision to start. This is your moment. Take it. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, what do you truly believe about yourself? Not the mask you wear for others, not the surface level answers you give to avoid vulnerability, but deep down, what do you really think you're capable of? Because here's the truth. What you believe about yourself becomes your reality. Self-belief isn't just a nice idea. It's the foundation of everything you will ever achieve. Without it, even the best opportunities will slip through your fingers. With it, even the greatest obstacles can be overcome. But let's be honest, believing in yourself isn't always easy. The world is filled with people who will try to tell you what you can't do. Some of them might even be the people closest to you. They'll tell you to stay safe, to aim lower, to stop dreaming so big. They'll project their own fears onto you, not because they don't care, but because they don't see the vision you see. This is why your belief in yourself must be unshakable. You have to become your own greatest advocate, your own loudest cheerleader, your own unwavering source of confidence. Because if you don't believe in you, why should anyone else? Let's dig deeper. Have you ever noticed how people with an unshakable belief in themselves seem to draw success toward them? It's not luck. It's not coincidence. It's the power of vision combined with action. When you truly believe in yourself, you carry yourself differently. You speak with conviction. You act with purpose, and the world responds to that energy. Think about the most successful people you admire. They didn't wait for someone else to validate them. They didn't sit around waiting for the perfect time, the perfect circumstances, or the perfect opportunity. They believed in their ability to create their own path. But let's not sugarcoat it. This kind of belief takes work. It takes courage to bet on yourself when others doubt you. It takes strength to hold on to your vision when the results aren't showing up yet. It takes persistence to keep going when the journey feels harder than you expected. Here's the thing most people don't understand. Self-belief, it's not about thinking you're better than anyone else. It's about knowing that you have something unique to offer the world and refusing to let self-doubt hold you back. But belief alone isn't enough. It's the spark, yes, but a spark needs fuel to become a flame. That fuel is your vision. What do you see for your life? What do you want to create, experience, and contribute? If your vision isn't clear, your energy will be scattered. But when your vision is sharp, it becomes a compass guiding every decision you make. Let's make this practical. Start by defining your vision. Not just the surface level goals, but the deeper purpose behind them. Why do you want what you want? What impact do you want to leave on the world? When you connect with your why, your vision becomes more than a dream, it becomes a mission. And here's the secret. Your vision doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't need their approval. It doesn't need their validation. The only person who needs to believe in it is you. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. What if you've been struggling to believe in yourself? What if your vision feels blurry or you're unsure of your purpose? The first step is to silence the noise. Stop comparing yourself to others. Stop letting the opinions of people who haven't walked your path define your potential. Instead, focus inward. Reflect on your strengths, your passions, and the moments when you felt most alive. These are clues to your purpose. Write them down, meditate on them, let them guide you toward your vision. And remember this, you don't need to have it all figured out to start. You don't need to know every step of the journey before you take the first one. Clarity comes through action. Confidence grows through experience. Self-belief strengthens every time you choose to move forward, even when fear whispers in your ear. Let's be real, fear will always be there. It's part of being human. But fear doesn't have to control you. It doesn't have to paralyze you. Instead, let it be a signal that you're stepping into something bigger than yourself. Let it remind you that growth and comfort never coexist. Here's a challenge for you. Speak to yourself as if you already believe in your greatness. Even if it feels awkward, even if it feels forced, start speaking words of power over your life. I am capable, I am worthy, I am enough. Because here's the truth, your subconscious mind believes what you tell it. When you repeat these affirmations, you're reprogramming the way you see yourself. And when you see yourself differently, the world will see you differently too. Now imagine this. Imagine waking up every morning with a clear vision of what you want to achieve. Imagine moving through your day with unshakable confidence, knowing that every action you take is bringing you closer to your dreams. Imagine looking back a year from now and realizing that everything you've achieved started with one decision, the decision to believe in yourself. This isn't just wishful thinking, it's a choice you can make today. Because becoming one of God's favorites doesn't start with anyone else. It starts with you. It starts with your decision to rise above self-doubt, to hold on to your vision, and to take bold action toward the life you were meant to live. This is your moment. Don't let it slip away. Take a moment to reflect on this question. What are you willing to sacrifice to become the person you were meant to be? Most people crave success, happiness, and greatness, but when the time comes to pay the price, they hesitate. The truth is simple. Everything worth having demands a cost. Think about the people you admire, the ones who have achieved remarkable things. They didn't get there by accident. Behind their success is a story of sacrifice, long nights, early mornings, and a relentless commitment to discipline. Sacrifice is the bridge between dreams and reality. It's the fire that forges ordinary individuals into extraordinary achievers. But let's not confuse sacrifice with suffering. Sacrifice isn't about giving up everything you love. It's about choosing what matters most. It's about understanding that every decision you make either moves you closer to your goals or pulls you further away. This is where discipline becomes your greatest ally. Discipline isn't just about doing the hard things. It's about doing them consistently, even when motivation fades. Because motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like waves. Discipline, however, is the steady current that keeps you moving forward. Here's the reality. Most people give up not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they lack discipline. They let temporary discomfort dictate their actions. They choose instant gratification over long-term fulfillment. They say they want greatness, but settle for mediocrity when the journey gets tough. Now ask yourself, are you willing to be different? Are you willing to say no to the distractions that keep others stuck? Are you willing to do the work not just when it's convenient, but when it's inconvenient, uncomfortable, and even painful? Greatness isn't reserved for the lucky few. It's available to anyone willing to pay the price. The question is, are you willing to trade short-term pleasure for long-term success? Are you willing to sacrifice comfort for growth? Let's get real. Sacrifice doesn't mean you have to abandon everything you enjoy. It means you prioritize what truly matters. It means you say no to the things that drain your energy and yes to the habits that build your future. It means you focus not on what you're losing, but on what you're gaining. This is where most people struggle. They focus on the loss instead of the reward. They see the effort, but forget the outcome. If you want to stay committed, you have to train your mind to see beyond the sacrifice. Visualize the life you're building. Picture the person you're becoming. Let that vision fuel your actions. Here's an example. Imagine waking up early to work on your goals while others are still asleep. Yes, it's a sacrifice to leave the comfort of your bed, but think about what you gain. Extra hours of productivity, a head start on your dreams, and the confidence that comes from knowing you're doing what others won't. Now multiply that effort over weeks, months, and years. Suddenly, the sacrifices that felt hard in the moment seem insignificant compared to the rewards you're reaping. Success isn't built in a day. It's built in the quiet moments when no one is watching, in the choices you make when no one is cheering. And let's talk about discipline. Discipline is a skill, not a talent. It's something you build through consistent effort. Start small. Commit to one disciplined action every day. It could be as simple as waking up at the same time, sticking to a workout, or spending an hour on personal growth. Over time, these small actions compound into massive results. Discipline becomes a habit, and habits shape your destiny. When discipline becomes who you are, success becomes inevitable. But let's be clear, discipline doesn't mean perfection. You will stumble, you will have days when you fall short. That's part of the journey. The key is to get back up and keep going. Progress, not perfection, is what matters. Here's a powerful truth. Sacrifice and discipline are not just about achieving goals. They're about becoming the kind of person who can handle success. Because success isn't just about what you achieve, it's about who you become in the process. When you embrace sacrifice, you develop resilience. You learn to handle challenges without breaking. When you practice discipline, you build self-respect. You prove to yourself that you can be trusted to follow through. This transformation isn't just external, it's internal. The rewards aren't just material, they're mental, emotional, and spiritual. You gain confidence, clarity, and a deep sense of purpose. You start to see yourself as someone who is unstoppable, someone who can overcome any obstacle. And here's the beautiful part. As you grow, you inspire others to do the same. Your sacrifices and discipline set an example for those around you. You become a beacon of hope, a reminder that greatness is possible for anyone willing to do the work. So the question remains, what are you willing to sacrifice for your future? What habits are you ready to let go of? And what disciplines are you ready to embrace? The answer to these questions will define your destiny. This is your opportunity to rise above the average, to leave behind the excuses, and to step into the life you were created for. The journey won't be easy, but the rewards will be worth it. You're capable of more than you realize, but you have to be willing to sacrifice who you are for who you want to become. It starts now, it starts with you. Take the first step and don't look back. Do you truly believe in your ability to create the life you desire? This is not just a question, it's the foundation of everything you will achieve. Without belief, even the strongest efforts crumble under doubt. With belief, even the greatest obstacles become stepping stones. Belief isn't just a fleeting feeling or a moment of confidence, it's a deep, unshakable faith in yourself and your purpose. It's the conviction that no matter how hard things get, no matter how steep the climb, you will find a way to rise. But here's the problem. Most people don't believe in themselves. They let fear, doubt, and the opinions of others dictate their lives. They tell themselves stories about why they can't succeed, why they aren't good enough, why the world is against them. These stories become chains that hold them back. Now ask yourself, what story are you telling about your life? Are you feeding your mind with reasons to succeed or excuses to stay where you are? The truth is, your beliefs shape your reality. What you believe about yourself becomes your truth, and your truth becomes your life. If you believe you're not capable, you'll find ways to prove it true. You'll sabotage your efforts, shrink from challenges, and settle for less. But if you believe you are destined for greatness, you'll start acting like it. You'll rise to challenges, persist through setbacks, and attract opportunities that align with your vision. The key to changing your life starts with changing your belief system. You must reprogram your mind to see possibilities instead of limitations. It's not about lying to yourself or ignoring reality. It's about choosing to focus on your strengths, your potential, and the opportunities in front of you. But how do you build belief when doubt feels so strong? It starts with action. Action creates evidence, and evidence strengthens belief. Take small, consistent steps toward your goals. Each success, no matter how small, reinforces your confidence. Over time, these small wins build a foundation of unshakable belief. Another powerful tool is visualization. Close your eyes and imagine the life you want to create. See yourself achieving your goals, overcoming challenges, and living with purpose. Feel the emotions of success, pride, joy, and fulfillment. This isn't just daydreaming, it's a way to train your mind to believe in what's possible. But let's not ignore the voices of doubt that creep in. Doubt is normal, it's a sign that you're stepping out of your comfort zone. Instead of fighting doubt, acknowledge it and let it fuel your growth. Use it as a reminder that you're pushing yourself to new levels. Remember, belief isn't about having all the answers or being fearless. It's about choosing to move forward despite uncertainty. It's about trusting yourself enough to take the leap, knowing that even if you fall, you'll find a way to rise again. Your belief will be tested, people will doubt you, challenges will arise, and there will be moments when the path feels impossible. In those moments, remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself of the strength you've already shown, the battles you've already won, and the dreams you're fighting for. Surround yourself with people who believe in you. The company you keep has a profound impact on your mindset. Choose to be around those who inspire you, challenge you, and remind you of your potential. Let their belief in you strengthen your belief in yourself. And don't forget the power of gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have. It reminds you of your progress and the blessings in your life. When you're grateful, you approach challenges with a positive mindset, and belief becomes a natural part of your perspective. Here's a powerful truth. No one will believe in you more than you believe in yourself. The world mirrors your confidence. If you don't believe in your worth, why should anyone else? But when you stand firm in your belief, people can't help but take notice. They see your conviction, your determination, and your refusal to give up. Belief is a choice. It's a decision you make every day, no matter what circumstances you face. It's the decision to see potential instead of problems, to trust in your journey, and to know that you have everything you need to succeed. When you choose belief, you unlock doors that doubt would have kept closed. You start to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You find solutions where others find excuses. And most importantly, you keep going when others quit. So ask yourself right now, what do you believe about your future? Do you see it as something you control or something that happens to you? Do you believe in your ability to rise, to overcome, and to achieve greatness? If your belief isn't where it needs to be, start building it today. Take action, surround yourself with positivity, and remind yourself of your worth. You don't need anyone else's approval to believe in yourself. You don't need anyone else's permission to chase your dreams. The only permission you need is your own. The only belief that matters is yours. And once you truly believe, there is nothing in this world that can stop you. This is your moment to rise. This is your time to embrace the power of belief. It's not just about what you achieve, it's about who you become in the process. Believe in yourself and the world will believe in you too. Who's responsible for your life? This might seem like a simple question, but the answer defines everything. Is it the people around you, the circumstances you were born into, or the setbacks you faced? Or is it you? Responsibility is not about blame. It's not about looking back and regretting decisions or wishing things had been different. Responsibility is power. It's the realization that you and only you hold the keys to your future. Too often people give away their power by refusing to take responsibility. They blame others, the system, or even luck for their struggles. They build stories in their minds about why they can't succeed. But here's the truth. Every excuse you make is a brick in the wall that separates you from your potential. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you have control over everything that happens to you. Life throws challenges, unexpected events, and pain at everyone. But taking responsibility means you control how you respond. It's not about what happens, it's about what you do with what happens. When you stop blaming and start owning your life, something incredible happens. You feel free. You're no longer at the mercy of others or your circumstances. You realize that no matter where you are right now, you have the power to change it. You become unstoppable. But responsibility isn't always easy. It's easier to point fingers, to stay in the comfort of excuses, and to wait for someone else to fix things. It's hard to look in the mirror and admit that the person staring back is the one in charge. But it's also the most empowering thing you can do. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting for the perfect moment. You stop waiting for opportunities to find you. You create your own opportunities. You realize that your dreams aren't going to magically appear. They're waiting for you to take action. This mindset shift changes everything. Suddenly, failures become lessons instead of defeats. Challenges become opportunities to grow. Every step, whether forward or backward, becomes part of your journey towards success. Taking responsibility also means owning your mindset. Your thoughts shape your reality, and if you let negativity, doubt, or fear take over, they will dictate your actions. You must guard your mind like a fortress, protecting it from anything that weakens your resolve. Ask yourself, are you filling your mind with excuses or solutions? Are you focusing on what you lack or what you can do? Responsibility means choosing thoughts that empower you, even when it's hard. This also extends to your habits. Your daily actions reflect your level of responsibility. Are you doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it? Responsibility means showing up every day, staying disciplined, and putting in the work no matter what. It's not glamorous, it's not always fun, but every small action you take builds momentum. Responsibility is the daily grind that leads to extraordinary results. It's waking up early to chase your goals, pushing through discomfort, and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. And here's a secret. When you embrace responsibility, people notice. They see your commitment, your consistency, and your refusal to quit. They respect it. They're drawn to it. Responsibility isn't just about what you do for yourself. It's about the energy you bring to others. But let's be honest. Taking responsibility can feel overwhelming. You'll have moments where you doubt yourself, where the weight feels too heavy to carry. That's when you need to remember this. You're not alone. Every great achiever, every successful person has felt the same. The difference is they didn't let it stop them. They chose to keep going, to keep showing up, even when it felt impossible. They didn't let fear or failure define them. They used it as fuel to rise higher. That's what responsibility does. It builds resilience. Resilience is your greatest weapon. It's the strength to bounce back when life knocks you down. It's the determination to keep moving forward even when the path isn't clear. Responsibility and resilience go hand in hand. Together, they make you unstoppable. When you fully embrace responsibility, you become the creator of your life. You're no longer a passenger drifting wherever the current takes you. You're the captain, steering your ship toward your vision. So, take a moment and reflect. What are you holding back from? What excuses are you clinging to? What stories are you telling yourself about why you can't succeed? Let them go. They don't serve you. They never did. Start today. Take one small step toward the life you want. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be yours. Each step you take builds momentum. Each choice you make reinforces your commitment. This is your life, your journey, and your responsibility. No one else can live it for you. No one else can make it happen. It's up to you. And when you take responsibility, truly take it, the world changes. Not because the world is different, but because you are. You see opportunities where there were obstacles. You see strength where there was doubt. You see potential where there was fear. This is your moment. Step into it with courage, with purpose, and with the unshakable belief that you are in control. Take responsibility and watch how your life transforms. The power has always been yours. It's time to use it. How do you view the challenges in your life? Are they obstacles holding you back, or are they opportunities to grow stronger? This single perspective can change everything. Adversity is a constant. No one escapes it. It comes in different forms: failure, rejection, loss, or moments of doubt that feel impossible to overcome. But within every challenge lies a lesson, a chance to build the kind of strength that no one can take away from you. Think about this. Diamonds are formed under immense pressure. Without the intensity, they would remain ordinary rocks. Your struggles are the pressure that transforms you. They're not meant to break you. They're meant to reveal your potential. But it's easy to forget this in the middle of hardship. When life feels heavy, when it seems like the odds are against you, your mind may tell you to give up. It whispers lies about your worth, your ability, and your future. Don't believe it. Those moments of doubt are the turning points, the places where you either rise or fall. Adversity is a test. It asks one simple question: how badly do you want it? Do you want comfort, or do you want greatness? The answer isn't found in words, it's found in your actions. Every time you face a challenge, you have two choices. You can shrink back, letting fear and frustration control you, or you can rise, even if it feels impossible. Rising doesn't mean knowing exactly how to solve every problem. It means refusing to quit, even when the path is unclear. There's something powerful about choosing to fight through adversity. It builds resilience, the inner strength that allows you to keep going no matter what. It's the skill of standing tall after every setback, of seeing failure not as an end, but as a stepping stone to success. Adversity forces you to dig deep. It uncovers qualities you didn't know you had. It teaches patience when progress is slow, determination when the road is steep, and faith when the finish line feels out of reach. These lessons aren't just for the moment, they stay with you for life. But how do you keep going when adversity feels endless? The key is to focus on the bigger picture. Don't let temporary struggles blind you to the long-term vision. Life isn't about avoiding challenges. It's about using them to become stronger, wiser, and more determined. You also need to remember this: you're not alone. Adversity can make you feel isolated, like no one understands what you're going through. But every great achiever, every person who has ever accomplished something meaningful has faced their own battles. You are part of a universal struggle, one that connects all of humanity. When you embrace adversity, you set yourself apart. You become the person who doesn't just survive hardship, but thrives because of it. You show the world what's possible when someone refuses to give up. Adversity also sharpens your focus. It forces you to... Have you ever stopped to think about how much of your life is within your control? It's easy to blame circumstances, people, or even luck for where you are. But the truth is, real power begins when you take full responsibility for your life. Responsibility is not about fault. It's not about saying everything that happens is your doing. It's about recognizing that no matter what life throws at you, your response is your choice. This is where your true freedom lies, not in avoiding challenges, but in deciding how you face them. Imagine two people faced with the same storm. One sees it as unfair, as a reason to stop trying. The other sees it as a chance to build a stronger boat. Who wins in the end? Not the person who waits for the storm to pass, but the one who adapts and grows through it. Taking responsibility isn't easy. It requires honesty, courage, and humility. It means admitting when you've fallen short, acknowledging your fears, and owning your mistakes. But it's also the path to immense power. Because when you take responsibility, you stop being a victim of life. You become the architect of your destiny. Think about the stories of great achievers. They didn't start with perfect lives or ideal conditions. Many of them faced unimaginable obstacles. What set them apart was their refusal to let those challenges define them. They didn't wait for someone to rescue them. They took responsibility for their outcomes and turned their pain into progress. Responsibility also teaches you to let go of excuses. Excuses feel comfortable in the moment. They justify why you didn't try harder, why you gave up, or why you didn't succeed. But excuses trap you. They keep you small, robbing you of the growth that comes from accountability. When you stop making excuses, you start seeing results. It's a simple but profound shift. Instead of saying, "I can't," you start asking, "How can I?" Instead of blaming circumstances, you start finding solutions. This mindset doesn't just change your results, it transforms your character. Taking responsibility also builds self-respect. When you own your life, you prove to yourself that you are capable, resilient, and worthy of success. This inner respect becomes a foundation for everything you do. It strengthens your confidence, fuels your ambition, and inspires those around you. But responsibility isn't just about big actions. It's also found in the small, everyday choices. How you spend your time, how you treat others, and how you care for your body and mind. These choices, though they seem small, shape your future in profound ways. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you have to do everything alone. It's not about carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. It's about recognizing your role in your journey and being willing to seek help when needed. It's about taking charge of your growth while building meaningful connections with others. This mindset shifts how you see failure. Instead of something to fear, failure becomes a teacher. Every setback is an opportunity to learn, to adjust, and to grow. When you take responsibility, you stop fearing failure because you know it's a stepping stone, not a dead end. Taking responsibility also creates freedom. It might sound counterintuitive, but it's true. When you stop waiting for circumstances to change and start changing yourself, you reclaim control. You realize that your success is not tied to what happens to you, but to how you respond. And this freedom spreads. It impacts every area of your life, your career, relationships, health, and happiness. It allows you to live with purpose, unshaken by the storms of life. Responsibility is a choice. It's not always the easy path, but it's the one that leads to true power and lasting fulfillment. So, ask yourself today, are you willing to take responsibility for your life? Because that decision, more than anything else, will determine your future. Do you know what separates those who succeed from those who don't? It's not luck. It's not talent. It's discipline. The small daily choices you make shape the life you live. Success is not built in a day. It's built every day, one decision at a time. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's not glamorous or easy. It doesn't offer instant gratification, but it delivers results. It's the foundation for every dream, every goal, and every victory. Without discipline, even the greatest plans will fail. The truth is, you already know what you need to do. You know the habits that will take you closer to your goals, but knowing isn't enough. Action is what counts, and discipline is what drives action. Think about it. Every morning you face a choice. Do you hit the snooze button, or do you get up and chase your goals? Every meal, every workout, every moment of free time, you're making choices that either build your future or sabotage it. The power of discipline lies in consistency. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up even on the days when you don't feel like it. Discipline doesn't rely on motivation because motivation comes and goes. Discipline is about commitment. It's about doing what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. But discipline isn't just about work. It's also about self-control. It's saying no to distractions, no to temptations, and no to the things that don't serve your purpose. Discipline frees you from the chaos of impulsive decisions. It gives you focus and clarity. Building discipline starts with small steps. It's not about overhauling your entire life overnight. It's about making one better choice today, then another tomorrow. Over time, these small choices add up. They become habits, and habits become your lifestyle. There's a reason why discipline is hard. Your mind will resist change. It will look for excuses and easy ways out. But every time you push through that resistance, you become stronger. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Discipline also teaches patience. It reminds you that great things take time. It's easy to get discouraged when results don't come right away, but discipline keeps you focused on the process, not just the outcome. It's about trusting the journey and knowing that the effort you put in today will pay off tomorrow. Think of the people you admire. Behind every success story is a story of discipline. The athlete who trains every day, rain or shine. The entrepreneur who works tirelessly to build their vision. The artist who hones their craft for years before achieving recognition. They didn't rely on talent alone. They relied on discipline. Discipline also creates freedom. It might sound like a paradox, but it's true. When you have discipline, you control your time, your energy, and your focus. You're not at the mercy of distractions or bad habits. You're free to pursue what truly matters to you. It's important to remember that discipline is not punishment. It's not about depriving yourself or making life harder. Discipline is an act of self-respect. It's about valuing your time and your potential. It's about choosing long-term growth over short-term comfort. And discipline isn't just for the big things. It's for the everyday moments that seem small but are incredibly powerful. It's choosing to be kind even when you're frustrated. It's choosing to learn even when you're tired. It's choosing to give your best even when no one is watching. Every time you practice discipline, you're sending a message to yourself. I am capable. I am in control. I am committed to my goals. This builds confidence, resilience, and a sense of pride in who you are. The beauty of discipline is that it's available to everyone. You don't need to be the smartest, the strongest, or the most talented person in the room. All you need is the willingness to make better choices, one day at a time. Discipline transforms your mindset. It shifts your focus from what you want now to what you want most. It gives you the strength to delay gratification, to work through challenges, and to stay true to your purpose. So what choices will you make today? Will you let your emotions, distractions, or excuses control you? Or will you take charge and build the life you deserve? Discipline is the key. Will you use it? Imagine a world where every promise you make to yourself is kept, where every goal you set is achieved because you hold yourself accountable. Accountability is one of the most powerful forces for growth and success. It's not about pressure or guilt. It's about responsibility, ownership, and trust in yourself. When you take accountability for your actions, you stop making excuses. You stop blaming circumstances, other people, or bad luck for the outcomes in your life. Instead, you recognize that your choices have power, that every decision you make shapes your future. This isn't always easy to accept, but it's liberating. It means that no matter what has happened before, you have the ability to change your path. Accountability starts with honesty. You need to be honest about where you are, what you want, and what's holding you back. It's tempting to gloss over your weaknesses or avoid confronting uncomfortable truths. But growth only happens when you face reality head on. Take a moment to think about your goals. What's one thing you've promised yourself that you haven't followed through on? Is it a healthier lifestyle? A project you've been putting off? A habit you've been trying to break? Accountability means looking at these areas without judgment and asking yourself, what's stopping me? The next step is commitment. Accountability isn't just about identifying what you want. It's about taking consistent action to get there. This means setting clear, measurable goals and breaking them into smaller steps. It's not enough to say, I want to get fit, or I want to save money. You need to define what success looks like. How many workouts per week? How much will you save each month? Clarity leads to focus, and focus leads to results. But accountability doesn't happen in isolation. It's easy to let yourself off the hook when no one else is watching. This is why sharing your goals with someone you trust can be so powerful. A friend, a mentor, or even a community of like-minded people can provide the encouragement and perspective you need. They can celebrate your progress, remind you of your why, and challenge you to keep going when you feel like giving up. There's also an incredible strength in self-accountability. This is where you learn to rely on your own discipline and inner resolve. Start by tracking your progress, whether it's a journal, an app, or a simple checklist. Keeping a record of your actions helps you stay on course. It's a reminder of how far you've come and what still needs to be done. One of the biggest barriers to accountability is the fear of failure. It's natural to worry about falling short or making mistakes, but accountability isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Every misstep is a learning opportunity. Every setback a chance to reassess and adjust your approach. The key is not to dwell on what went wrong, but to ask yourself, what can I do differently next time? Accountability also requires self-compassion. Holding yourself accountable doesn't mean being harsh or overly critical. It means being firm but fair, treating yourself with the same kindness and encouragement you would offer a friend. Celebrate your wins no matter how small. Recognize the effort you're putting in and remind yourself that change takes time. Another powerful aspect of accountability is reflection. Take time to evaluate your progress regularly. Are you moving closer to your goals? Are your actions aligned with your values and priorities? Reflection helps you stay connected to your purpose and ensures that you're not just busy but productive. Accountability creates momentum. The more you follow through on your commitments, the more confidence you build. It becomes a positive cycle. Action leads to results. Results build belief, and belief fuels further action. This momentum is what turns dreams into reality. But what happens when you slip? When you skip a workout, miss a deadline, or fall back into an old habit? This is where accountability truly matters. It's not about being perfect. It's about how you respond when things don't go as planned. Instead of giving up or making excuses, take responsibility. Own your choices, learn from them, and recommit to your goals. Remember, accountability isn't a burden. It's a gift you give yourself. It's a declaration that your dreams are worth the effort, that your time and energy matter. It's about living with intention and purpose, knowing that you are in control of your journey. So take a moment to think about where you are right now. What's one action you can take today to hold yourself accountable? It doesn't have to be big. Maybe it's a phone call you've been avoiding, a promise you need to keep, or a step toward a goal you've been procrastinating on. Whatever it is, do it. And when you do, acknowledge your effort. That's how accountability grows. One choice, one action, one step at a time. Your life is built on the promises you keep to yourself. Make those promises count. Stay accountable, stay committed, and watch how far you can go. Resilience is the armor you wear against the unpredictable storms of life. It's not about avoiding difficulties, but about finding the strength to rise every time you fall. Life is full of challenges, unexpected obstacles, personal setbacks, and moments of doubt. But resilience is what allows you to face these moments, learn from them, and grow stronger because of them. At its core, resilience is about mindset. It's the belief that no matter how tough things get, you have the ability to overcome them. This doesn't mean ignoring pain or pretending problems don't exist. It means acknowledging them, accepting them, and choosing to move forward anyway. The first step in building resilience is understanding that struggle is a natural part of growth. Think about the strongest trees in a forest. They didn't become strong because the wind never blew or the rain never fell. They became strong because they endured, they adapted. They stood firm even when the storm seemed relentless. In your own life, resilience begins with perspective. How you interpret challenges can either empower or defeat you. If you see setbacks as failures, you're more likely to give up. But if you see them as opportunities to learn, to adapt, and to prove your strength, they become stepping stones to success. It's important to recognize that resilience isn't about going through tough times alone. Leaning on others for support doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. Friends, family, mentors, and communities can provide the encouragement, guidance, and perspective you need to keep going. Sometimes simply sharing your struggles with someone who listens can lift a huge weight off your shoulders. Another key to resilience is adaptability. Life rarely goes exactly as planned, and rigid expectations can make challenges feel even harder. Resilience means being flexible, finding new paths when old ones are blocked, and staying open to unexpected opportunities. It's about shifting your focus from what you've lost to what you can still achieve. Think about a time in your life when things didn't go as expected. Maybe it was a career setback, a broken relationship, or a personal failure. Now ask yourself, what did you learn from that experience? How did it shape you into who you are today? Resilience isn't just about surviving hardships. It's about finding meaning in them. Physical and mental well-being also play a huge role in resilience. When you take care of your body and mind, you build the strength to face challenges head-on. Regular exercise, healthy eating, and adequate rest give you the energy to tackle tough situations. Practices like mindfulness, meditation, or journaling can help you process emotions, stay grounded, and maintain a sense of balance, even in the face of chaos. Resilience grows through self-awareness. Take the time to understand your strengths, your values, and your triggers. Knowing what drives you and what holds you back makes it easier to navigate challenges. It also helps you set boundaries and make choices that align with your long-term goals. Patience is another critical part of resilience. Growth takes time, and change doesn't happen overnight. When you're in the middle of a tough situation, it can feel endless, but resilience reminds you that no storm lasts forever. Each small step forward brings you closer to brighter days. Resilience is also about embracing failure as part of the process. Every successful person has faced setbacks, rejection, or defeat at some point. The difference is that they didn't let those moments define them. They used failure as a teacher, learning what didn't work so they could find what does. One of the most powerful tools for resilience is gratitude. When life feels overwhelming, it's easy to focus on what's wrong. But taking a moment to appreciate what you do have, a supportive friend, a small victory, or even just the strength to keep going, can shift your perspective. Gratitude doesn't erase challenges, but it reminds you of the good that still exists. Resilience also involves forgiveness, both of yourself and others. Holding on to anger, regret, or guilt only weighs you down. Letting go of these emotions doesn't mean forgetting what happened or excusing bad behavior. It means freeing yourself from the burden of carrying them. Lastly, resilience is about purpose. When you have a clear sense of why you're doing what you're doing, it becomes easier to persevere through hardships. Purpose gives you direction, motivation, and the ability to keep moving forward even when the road is rough. Remember, resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. Every time you face a challenge and choose to keep going, you're strengthening your ability to handle whatever life throws at you. It's a skill, a habit, and a mindset that grows with practice. So, when the next storm comes, remind yourself of this. You are stronger than you think. You've overcome challenges before, and you'll overcome this one too. Take a deep breath. Take the first step forward. And trust that, with resilience, you can weather any storm and emerge stronger on the other side. Discipline is the foundation of any great achievement. It's not about grand gestures or sporadic bursts of energy. It's about the quiet, deliberate actions you take every single day. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward when motivation fades, when the excitement wanes, and when the road ahead seems endlessly long. At its core, discipline is a commitment to yourself. It's making a promise that no matter what distractions or temptations come your way, you will stay true to the path you've chosen. It's about honoring your goals, even when it's uncomfortable, inconvenient, or challenging. Consistency is the partner of discipline. While discipline is the decision to act, consistency is the repeated follow-through. Together, they create momentum, turning small, steady actions into significant progress over time. Think of a drop of water falling on a rock. One drop doesn't make a difference, but the constant repetition wears down even the hardest stone. The challenge most people face isn't starting, it's continuing. It's easy to feel motivated at the beginning of a journey when everything feels fresh and exciting, but true growth happens in the middle, when the novelty wears off and the grind begins. This is where discipline becomes your greatest ally. Discipline teaches you to focus on what matters, even when distractions call for your attention. It's about prioritizing long-term rewards over short-term satisfaction. Imagine the difference between someone who spends hours scrolling through social media versus someone who uses that same time to learn, grow, or build something meaningful. The choices you make today shape the person you'll become tomorrow. One of the keys to developing discipline is setting clear goals. Without a destination, it's easy to lose direction. But when you have a clear vision of what you're working toward, every step you take becomes purposeful. Write down your goals, break them into smaller, actionable steps, and most importantly, remind yourself daily of why they matter to you. Discipline doesn't mean denying yourself happiness or fun. It means creating balance and structure so that your actions align with your values. It's about learning to say no to the things that don't serve your purpose and yes to the things that do. Building discipline takes time, and it often starts with small habits. Something as simple as making your bed every morning or committing to 5 minutes of exercise can create a sense of accomplishment. These small wins build confidence, proving to yourself that you can follow through. Consistency amplifies these efforts. It's not about perfection. It's about persistence. Missing a day or facing setbacks doesn't mean failure. It's the willingness to pick yourself back up and continue that defines consistency. Think of it as a staircase. Even if you stumble, you're still further along than if you had never started. One of the greatest benefits of discipline and consistency is the trust it builds within yourself. When you repeatedly show up for yourself, you begin to believe in your ability to handle challenges. This self-trust becomes a source of inner strength, giving you the confidence to take on bigger goals and greater responsibilities. Discipline also fosters resilience. When you practice discipline, you're training yourself to handle discomfort, delay gratification, and stay focused under pressure. Over time, this mental toughness extends to other areas of your life, helping you navigate difficulties with grace and determination. It's important to remember that discipline isn't about punishment or deprivation, it's about empowerment. Every disciplined action you take is an investment in your future. It's choosing growth over comfort, progress over stagnation, and purpose over distraction. The journey of discipline and consistency isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. The sense of accomplishment that comes from knowing you stayed committed even when it was hard is unmatched. It's the quiet satisfaction of knowing you gave your best effort no matter the outcome. To strengthen your discipline, surround yourself with environments and people that support your goals. Remove distractions where possible and create systems that make it easier to stay consistent. If your goal is to eat healthier, for example, stock your home with nourishing foods and limit access to temptations. If you want to exercise more, set your workout clothes out the night before. Accountability is another powerful tool. Share your goals with someone you trust or track your progress in a journal. Knowing someone else is aware of your commitments can add an extra layer of motivation to stay consistent. Remember, discipline and consistency aren't just about achieving external success, they're about personal growth. Every time you choose discipline, you're becoming a stronger, more capable version of yourself. You're proving that you have what it takes to face challenges, overcome obstacles, and create a life you're proud of. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Every step forward, no matter how minor it seems, is a victory. Acknowledge your effort, reflect on how far you've come, and use that momentum to keep going. The truth is, discipline and consistency unlock potential. They transform dreams into reality, turning abstract ideas into tangible achievements. They remind you that success isn't a matter of luck, but a matter of effort, focus, and perseverance. As you move forward, let discipline and consistency be your guiding principles. Embrace the process, trust in the power of small actions, and believe in your ability to create meaningful change. Because with discipline and consistency, there's nothing you can't accomplish. Challenges are an inevitable part of life, but they are not obstacles meant to stop you. They are opportunities in disguise, crafted to help you grow, learn, and become stronger. How you perceive and respond to challenges determines whether they become stepping stones to success or barriers that hold you back. Every challenge, no matter how big or small, carries a lesson within it. When faced with difficulties, it's easy to feel overwhelmed or discouraged, but what if, instead of seeing them as problems, you viewed them as opportunities to sharpen your skills and test your resolve? Challenges are not there to defeat you, they exist to prepare you for greater heights. Growth doesn't come from staying within the boundaries of comfort. It emerges when you step into the unknown, face your fears, and tackle the obstacles that seem insurmountable. This is where resilience is built, where courage is forged, and where you discover your true potential. Think about the times in your life when you've faced hardships. Reflect on the moments that pushed you to your limits. Did you come out of them weaker, or did you grow stronger? The truth is, challenges often leave behind a version of you that's more resilient, more resourceful, and more capable than before. Challenges are not meant to punish you. They're meant to refine you. Like metal being tempered in fire, it is through the heat of adversity that your character is strengthened. Every setback teaches you something valuable, whether it's patience, persistence, or the ability to adapt. One of the most powerful ways to face challenges is to shift your mindset. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what can I learn from this? This small change in perspective can turn frustration into curiosity and fear into determination. When you see challenges as opportunities for growth, they lose their power to intimidate you. Another key to overcoming challenges is preparation. Life is unpredictable and difficulties often come when you least expect them. But when you've equipped yourself with the right mindset, skills, and habits, you're better prepared to face whatever comes your way. Think of it like building a strong foundation before a storm hits. Preparation doesn't stop the storm, but it ensures that you stand firm through it. It's also important to remember that you don't have to face challenges alone. Seeking support is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of wisdom. Surround yourself with people who uplift and encourage you, who challenge you to see beyond your limitations, and who remind you of your strength when you forget it. Challenges often bring out the best in people because they push you beyond what you thought was possible. They force you to tap into reserves of strength and creativity you didn't know you had. Many of the greatest achievements in history were born from moments of adversity. Difficult times ignite innovation, perseverance, and an unyielding drive to succeed. When you're in the middle of a challenge, it's natural to feel frustrated or even defeated. But it's important to take a step back and focus on the bigger picture. Challenges are temporary, but the lessons they teach you can last a lifetime. Each difficulty you face is shaping you into someone who is more equipped to handle future obstacles. Think of challenges as a workout for your mind and spirit. Just as lifting weights builds physical strength, overcoming difficulties builds mental and emotional resilience. The more you face and conquer, the stronger you become. Challenges also teach you the value of persistence. Success is rarely instant, and the road to achieving your goals is often lined with obstacles. But those who persevere, who refuse to give up even when the odds seem stacked against them, are the ones who ultimately succeed. In every challenge, there's an opportunity to discover something new about yourself. Perhaps you'll uncover hidden strengths or talents. Maybe you'll learn how to communicate more effectively, manage your emotions, or develop a new skill. Challenges force you to evolve, and in doing so, they unlock parts of you that you never knew existed. It's also important to celebrate your victories, no matter how small they may seem. Every time you overcome a challenge, you're proving to yourself that you're capable of handling adversity. These moments of triumph, however small, are reminders of your resilience and determination. Sometimes the hardest challenges are the ones that bring the most rewarding outcomes. They test your patience, stretch your limits, and make you question your abilities. But when you push through, when you refuse to back down, you emerge with a sense of accomplishment that no one can take away from you. Remember, life isn't about avoiding challenges, it's about embracing them. Every challenge is an invitation to grow, to learn, and to become the best version of yourself. When you face difficulties with courage and determination, you're not only overcoming obstacles, you're building a legacy of resilience, strength, and unwavering persistence. As you move forward, let every challenge you encounter be a reminder of your potential. Believe in your ability to adapt, to overcome, and to thrive, because no matter how tough the journey may seem, you have what it takes to turn every challenge into an opportunity for greatness. Life rewards action. Dreams and ideas, no matter how grand, are meaningless without execution. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't always talent or resources. It's the ability to act decisively and consistently. When you take action, even imperfectly, you set a powerful force in motion, a force that attracts opportunities, builds momentum, and turns visions into reality. Action is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Thinking, planning, and strategizing are important, but they're not enough. Many people get stuck in the cycle of overthinking, paralyzed by fear of failure, or consumed by a need for perfection. But perfection is an illusion, and inaction guarantees that nothing changes. The only way to move forward is to take the first step, no matter how small. The beauty of action is that it creates clarity. You might not have all the answers when you begin, and that's okay. Taking the first step will reveal new possibilities, sharpen your focus, and guide you toward the next step. Progress isn't about knowing the entire path. It's about having the courage to move forward even when the destination feels uncertain. Small actions taken consistently can lead to extraordinary outcome. Think of a drop of water hitting a rock. One drop might seem insignificant, but over time, those drops carve through solid stone. Similarly, consistent effort, no matter how small, can break through obstacles and create lasting change. Action also has a compounding effect. When you take one step, it builds confidence. That confidence fuels your motivation to take the next step. With each step forward, your belief in yourself grows stronger, and before you know it, you're achieving things you once thought were impossible. It's important to understand that failure is a natural part of taking action. Many people avoid starting because they fear making mistakes, but failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a part of it. Every failure teaches you something valuable. It refines your approach, strengthens your resilience, and brings you closer to your goals. Without failure, there is no growth. Think of action as planting seeds. Not every seed will grow and not every effort will yield immediate results. But with persistence and care, the seeds that do take root will flourish. The key is to keep planting, keep trying, and keep moving forward. Procrastination is the enemy of action. It's easy to convince yourself that you'll start tomorrow or that you need more time to prepare. But the truth is, there will never be a perfect time. Waiting for the right moment often leads to missed opportunities and regrets. The best time to start is now. When you take action, you inspire others. People are drawn to those who are proactive, who don't just talk about their dreams, but actively work toward them. Your actions create a ripple effect, motivating those around you to step up and take charge of their own lives. Action also brings a sense of fulfillment. There's a unique satisfaction that comes from knowing you've done something to move closer to your goals. Even if the results aren't immediate, the act of trying gives you a sense of purpose and direction. It's important to focus on progress, not perfection. Don't let the fear of making mistakes hold you back. Every expert was once a beginner, and every success story started with someone taking a chance. The goal isn't to be perfect, it's to keep improving, one step at a time. Another powerful aspect of taking action is that it forces you to confront your fears. Fear thrives in inaction. The longer you wait, the bigger and scarier your fears seem. But when you take action, you realize that most fears are exaggerated. Facing them head on gives you the strength to overcome them and move forward with confidence. When you commit to action, you also learn to adapt. Not everything will go as planned, and that's okay. Flexibility is a key part of progress. Sometimes the path you start on leads you to unexpected opportunities, and being open to change allows you to take advantage of them. To stay consistent in your actions, it's helpful to set clear, achievable goals. Break your larger objectives into smaller, manageable steps. Celebrate your progress along the way, no matter how small it may seem. Each milestone is a reminder of how far you've come and a motivator to keep going. Taking action doesn't mean you have to do everything alone. Collaboration and seeking guidance can accelerate your progress. Surround yourself with people who support your vision, who challenge you to be better, and who celebrate your victories. Ultimately, action is what transforms potential into achievement. It's what separates dreamers from doers, planners from achievers, and the ordinary from the extraordinary. When you commit to taking action, you take control of your destiny. So take the first step today. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to be big. What matters is that you start. Because once you do, you'll realize that the only limits are the ones you place on yourself. And with consistent effort, those limits will fade, leaving behind a life that reflects your true potential. Your future isn't written in stone. It's not dictated by your past, your current circumstances, or the expectations of others. The future is shaped by the choices you make today and the actions you take to bring them to life. It takes courage to decide who you want to be, but it's a choice you have the power to make every single day. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the ability to act despite it. It's standing up to the doubts that creep into your mind, the opinions of those who say you can't, and the failures that try to make you stop. It's about saying, "This is my life, and I'll define what success means to me." The truth is, the world isn't going to hand you your dreams on a silver platter. If you want something, you have to go out and fight for it. That fight doesn't have to be loud or aggressive. It can be quiet and steady. It's waking up early to work on your goals, even when it's easier to stay in bed. It's staying disciplined when distractions call. It's staying focused when the results are slow to show. Courage comes in the small, consistent choices that align with your vision for your life. It's saying no to what doesn't serve you and yes to what challenges you. It's stepping out of your comfort zone, knowing that growth doesn't happen in the familiar. Comfort might feel good temporarily, but it doesn't lead to fulfillment. Fulfillment comes from chasing your potential, even when it's hard. When you commit to shaping your future, you'll face resistance, both from within and from the world around you. Your inner resistance comes in the form of self-doubt, fear of failure, and the temptation to settle for less. The world's resistance comes as criticism, setbacks, and unforeseen challenges. But here's the thing. Resistance is a sign that you're pushing boundaries. It's proof that you're on the path to something meaningful. To overcome resistance, you need a clear vision of what you want. Without clarity, it's easy to get lost or discouraged. Take the time to define your goals, not just in terms of material success, but in how you want to feel, grow, and contribute. A clear vision gives you direction, and direction gives you the motivation to keep going even when the journey gets tough. Equally important is resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to adapt when things don't go as planned, and to keep moving forward no matter what. Life will test your resolve, but every test is an opportunity to grow stronger. Every challenge you face is a chance to prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. Building resilience requires self-belief. You have to trust in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. That trust doesn't appear overnight, it's built through experience. Every time you face a fear, solve a problem, or overcome a failure, you reinforce your belief in yourself. Over time, that belief becomes unshakable. Another key to shaping your future is gratitude. Gratitude might seem like a strange concept in the context of ambition, but it's a powerful tool. When you appreciate what you already have, you shift your mindset from lack to abundance. That shift gives you the energy to strive for more without feeling desperate or defeated. Gratitude doesn't mean settling. It means recognizing the good in your life while working for even greater things. Success isn't just about achieving your goals. It's about who you become in the process. The challenges you face, the lessons you learn, and the skills you develop all contribute to your growth. Embrace the process, even when it's difficult. Every step you take brings you closer to the person you're meant to be. As you work toward shaping your future, don't forget the importance of relationships. Success is sweeter when it's shared with people who support and uplift you. Surround yourself with those who believe in your potential, who encourage you to dream bigger, and who celebrate your progress. At the same time, distance yourself from negativity. Not everyone will understand your journey, and that's okay. Focus on those who add value to your life. Time is your most valuable resource, and how you use it will determine the quality of your future. Spend it wisely. Invest in learning, growth, and experiences that align with your goals. Eliminate distractions that don't serve your purpose. Every moment you spend working toward your vision is a step closer to making it a reality. Remember that your future is a blank canvas. It's not defined by what others expect of you or by the mistakes you've made in the past. It's defined by your choices, your actions, and your commitment to living a life true to yourself. You have the power to create something extraordinary, but you have to start. Start by believing that you're capable of more. Start by setting a goal that excites and challenges you. Start by taking one small step in the direction of your dreams, because once you start, you'll realize that the possibilities are endless. Your future is yours to shape. Don't wait for permission, and don't wait for the perfect moment. Take control of your life and make it one you're proud to call your own. The journey won't always be easy, but it will always be worth it. And in the end, you'll look back and know that every moment of effort, every act of courage, and every step forward was a step toward becoming the person you were always meant to be.